Hi, my name is David Katz, and today we are going to be making Shemen Zayit olive oil from fresh olives. The first thing you're going to need is olives. You may look at Whole Foods or speak to your greengrocer to find some fresh olives right off the tree, and then we're going to get started. The first thing the kids should realize is that there's no oil in olives. If you take an olive and you crush it up, you end up with olive mush. There's no oil in here. You have a seed, which you can throw out, and you have the olive mush in here. And the real question is, how are we going to find the oil in the olive? So we're going to take all of our olives, we're going to put them in our bowl over here, and we're going to take a hammer and start crushing up these olives. Younger kids can crush the olives up, and they can remove the seeds. You can throw the seeds out. Older kids can actually crush the seeds up into the mush that we're making. And they're going to start crushing this stuff up and crushing away. This is a great outdoor project or messy project. I repeat, messy project. And you're going to start mushing up the olives and crushing up your olives. Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you have a nice mush that looks something like this. It looks something like this. It's mushy, and now you can actually see that it's a little bit shiny. That shiny stuff on the outside is actually the olive oil. Now we need to encourage the oil to coalesce a little bit. We need to encourage the oil to kind of float to the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it into this little cup with this immersion blender. We're going to add some nice hot water, and we're going to mix it up a little bit. And then we're going to play immersion blender with our olive paste. This process can go on for a few minutes actually. It can actually go on up to half an hour in the factories. We'll probably do it for about 5 minutes. Here we go. Now make sure, now this is going to be messy. We're going to... Okay, now depending on your blender, if you have a lot of seeds in here, you want to make sure you use either a really strong blender or a really old blender, because the seeds can ruin the blades on your blender. So now this is all mushed up very nicely, and now what we want to do is get all this stuff in, and you can keep mixing it with a spoon. This can be another part of the process. Kids can sit for as long as they want. This can take a little bit of time, and we're going to start mixing up this mush. And we're going to mix, and we're going to mix, and we're going to mix. And eventually what's going to happen is the oil is going to start floating to the top, and if you let it sit for 5 minutes, you'll actually see pockets of oil forming. The next stage in the process is as follows. We need to filter out the oil. We need to filter out the oil from the mush. So what you do is you take a piece of cheesecloth or a simple kind of fabric, and we're going to put it into a strainer. Okay? And then we're going to take our mush and we're going to put our mush down in here onto this piece of fabric. Get as much mush in there as possible. And then we're going to close it up. And eventually, oil should start dripping down from your strainer. You can apply pressure to it. You can apply pressure to it. And what I found useful is by taking another smaller bowl, placing it in this bowl, and just kind of pressing down. And eventually, the oil will start coming out into the bowl underneath the strainer. Okay, it may come out a little dark, it may come out a little brown, but eventually you'll see that the oil will start separating from that mixture. If you want, you could take some books and put it on top of here to keep the pressure going. And eventually the oil will come out. Now, what we're going to do is, this can take about 20 minutes to half an hour. So again, you may want to plan a different activity or have your kids do something else or whatnot in order to, while they're waiting for this oil to come out. Now, eventually you'll have the oil. You'll be able to take a little pipette or a little syringe from a Tylenol thing or whatnot and suck up your oil and hand it out to your kids. And here you've made some fresh Shemen Zayit for your Chanukah. Chag Sameach. Enjoy your Chanukah.